The progressive in English is the verb tense, indicating that an action is happening at the moment and may continue in the future. It is used to convey any action or condition that is happening right now and can be ongoing. It adds energy when expressing it, and its effect helps to understand when the action is happening. It's also known as the continuous or continuing tense that can be expressed in the past, present, and future. Additionally, it is an aspect of a verb that is determined by whether its action is continuous or completed. The progressive can be very important because it expresses when something happens. The past and present progressive tenses are something that I showed in the to be verb video because the verb to be is the most vital verb in the progressive. I would recommend going back and watching it just a bit. For this video, I will only concentrate on the present progressive and present participles. The past and future progressives are something that I'll leave for future videos. To form the present progressive tense, we take any subject plus a conjugated verb to be plus a present participle. A participle in any progressive tense is a recognizable word that is used as an adjective describing an action that is currently taking place. For most verbs, we take an infinitive and add the letters ing to the end. Participles are also very similar to gerunds because they both use the letters ing, but they have different grammatical roles. While participles are adjectives in a progressive tense, gerunds only function as nouns, and I'll get to this detail in just a bit. Following this pattern, we use the present progressive with the verb to be and the verb that shows the process of an action. Let's take the verb to think. In the present progressive, we take a subject plus a conjugation of to be plus a participle. I am thinking. You are thinking. He, she, it is thinking. We are thinking, and they are thinking. If you wish, you can try putting these phrases with contractions. For this video, I will not be doing it. Now, let's take the verb to speak. I am speaking. You are speaking. He, she, it is speaking. We are speaking, and they are speaking. Now, the verb to look. I am looking. You are looking. He, she, it is looking. We are looking, and they are looking. Now the verb to go. I am going. You are going. He, she, it is going. We are going, and they are going. Now the verb to study. I am studying. You are studying. He, she, it is studying. We are studying, and they are studying. So far, so simple. Despite having the simple letters ing in every participle, English can spell participles differently for better sound quality and writing purposes. If a verb ends in e, we drop it and then add ing, like in the verb to make. I am making. You are making. He, she, it is making. We are making, and they are making. Another verb is to write. I am writing. You are writing. He, she, it is writing. We are writing, and they are writing. Another verb is to take. I am taking. You are taking. He, she, it is taking. We are taking, and they are taking. If a verb ends in ie, we also drop it, but then add a y, and then ing, like in the verb to lie. I am lying. You are lying. He, she, it is lying. We are lying, and they are lying. Another verb is to tie. I am tying. You are tying. He, she, it is tying. We are tying, and they are tying. If a verb ends in a consonant with one vowel before it, we add an extra consonant and then ing, like in the verb to run. I am running. You are running. He, she, it is running. We are running, and they are running. Another verb is to swim. I am swimming. You are swimming. He, she, it is swimming. We are swimming, and they are swimming. Another verb is to sit. I am sitting. You are sitting. He, she, it is sitting. We are sitting, and they are sitting. If a verb ends in a consonant but has multiple vowels beforehand, we simply add ing, like in the verb to hear. I am hearing. You are hearing. He, she, it is hearing. We are hearing and they are hearing. These are the special spelling rules in the progressive. Now previously, I've said that participles are adjectives while gerunds are nouns. What this means is that a gerund is a verb that acts like a noun, which becomes a concept that can be the object of a sentence. It doesn't stop being a verb, but it describes the action as a focal point. Here are some examples with progressive phrases so you can understand the difference. I am studying is a progressive phrase with a participle, but I focus on studying is a phrase with a gerund. You are reading has a participle, but reading is necessary has a gerund. He is exercising has a participle, exercising is essential has a gerund. We are biking has a participle, biking is our hobby has a gerund. They are apologizing has a participle, apologizing is polite and important has a gerund. That's the difference between present participles with ing and gerunds with ing. One is an adjective and one is a noun. Moreover, present participles can also act as participial phrases, which are groups of words that start with a participle and contain other parts of speech. These participles act like adjectives in the sense that they modify other objects in a sentence. They should be placed directly next to the object that they're modifying, but sometimes they can be at the beginning, middle, or end of sentences. Here are participial phrases. I see my friend feeding his dog. The barking dog is at the park. The fascinating book is interesting to read. The rustling leaves make a beautiful noise. All of these phrases have a participle with ing, showing that they're all adjectives because they describe the nouns in front of them. Other participial phrases can also be placed at the beginning, but they need a comma to be separated from the main clause. Smiling and laughing, the child says goodbye to his parents. Tapping his foot, he waits for his friends. Running late, she quickly leaves her house. Participial phrases can also be found in the middle of a sentence, and they can be between commas unless they provide important information. The artist, holding his brush, paints a picture. The boy standing in line is my best friend. That's the meaning of present participles with ing. Finally, I would like to cover just a few last points about the progressive, such as when to not use it with common stative verbs, alongside common dynamic verbs. The progressive is not used with stative verbs which show a state of being that doesn't have qualities of change. These verbs always stay in the present simple. An example of that is he is preferring this book over that one, which is incorrect in the progressive. The proper way to say it is he prefers this book over that one, because the stative verb to prefer shows opinion, emotion, possession, and thoughts, none of which can be expressed in the progressive. To better understand what makes a verb stative that cannot be used in the progressive, I recommend following the small chart. On the opposite, the progressive is more likely to follow dynamic verbs, like verbs in this chart. Now you can understand what makes the progressive more dynamic. Anyhow, some verbs can be both dynamic and stative, like to be. In its dynamic form, to be can show an action, like in the phrase, I am being honest, but in its stative form, it will be incorrect when conjugated, as in the phrase, I am being tall. The correct way to say it is I am tall, with only one conjugation of to be. Another verb that is dynamic and stative is to think, but unlike to be, it can be used in the present simple and progressive. When it's dynamic, it can be used in a phrase like, he is thinking about something. In its stative form, it is simply used, he thinks deeply. Overall, this is how the progressive and present participles work in English.